Okay, I'm just going to try to wing this as usual by unscripted. Just what comes out of my mouth, what comes to my mind. I was meant to write a lot of this down and record it, or most of y'all know where I record at, but I didn't. And I've been lazy, I've not been writing as much. But anyway, I feel like I'm supposed to write it. Maybe I will eventually, but for now, this is what I have to do. I'm not exactly good at doing what I'm supposed to do always. It's funny on the web, and I mean it's not just the web. You see this playing out in everyday life. You got two groups. You got the group that a lot of times it's associated with the Hebrew movement, and there's by and large nothing wrong with the Hebrew movement, but they're living life to the letter of everything that's written. And there is a lot of good things written in the Bible. And I do believe that we're to go over the Ten Commandments. And that doesn't necessarily make Christians only do that. I mean, they're a set of rules that are just common sense, practiced by pretty much every society out there that has any moral fiber whatsoever. Religion on that part, really, I mean, we claim the Ten Commandments as Christians, but really, let's face it, about most religions out there have those same general rules. They may vary in words, but they're the same thing. But then they want to go into all these other rules. And I believe there's things that God likes and things that God don't like. I have no problem with that. There's things in the Bible that I think really please God, and there's things in the Bible that maybe they might have misread God. It's not like we don't misread Him to this very day. Because man tries to understand everything based upon man. And that's, again, in and of itself, not wrong. But in and of itself, it's not right either. Then you have on the opposite end of the spectrum those that they automatically, it's like go ahead and sin, do whatever floats your boat. You're already forgiven before you start. It's no big deal. And I think that's as wrong. Maybe more so than the other way. It seems there's no happy medium. Everybody gets tickled at me because I say there's no shortage of stupid people. And that's true. There's no shortage. I'm not saying I'm wise. I'm just saying, man, there's some really dumb people. And you get to watching, and you've got this. If you want to say Yeshua, that's fine. It's no big deal. The Hebrew pronunciation. I'm not Hebrew, I speak English. So I say Jesus. Now you can't have Jesus being divinity And he don't know all, obviously, because only his Father knows when his return is. But we got God somehow nailed down. It becomes comical in a way and sad in more ways than it is comical. I mean, you have these people over here saying, you must go to church on Saturday. Then you get the other people saying you must go to church on Sunday. And it's like, screw the rest of the 6 days. Just do that one. The Indians, American Indians, Native Americans, First Nation, whatever you want to call them. We got names for everything nowadays. And stick around, they'll change. They done every day. They believed in every day. Which kind of beats one day. And then you got these people that you're going to hell if you work that day. Well, I've been sick several times. Bad sick. Not, I think I'm going to die sick, up to the point of dying sick. And I can tell you, this self-righteous bull crap will not float. You're going to be praying that God has somebody working that day if your life depends on it. And if you don't think you will, let me remind you again what a very wise Indian chief once said. Everybody is brave at a distance. We have a lot of brave people at a distance, just like we have a lot of armchair warriors, or we have a lot of saints online. People aren't perfect. And I think God kind of figured that part out already. The New Testament replaces the Old Testament. And that could be because, it does say that he sees that we couldn't hold up to it. But it could also be we screwed it up so bad. Well, we were the ones who walked off, God didn't. He didn't have enough, but he wasn't the one who ended it. He wasn't the cause of it. He wasn't the one who broke his promise. But traditions, Jesus talks about traditions. I haven't seen that online. Misquoted. I joined a group, Ephesians. They picked the book of the Bible. And that's about as biblical as they got. Man, you talk about, wow, they're predicting the end of the world. Nobody knows when the second coming is coming. Now, I used to be a rapture person, which most of you know rapture is not in there. It's called being caught up. I used to believe in that for most of my life. I believed in that. And I ain't no spring chicken. But there's no evidence to support it. But even if there were, this Tim Leahy, which is a false prophet, a devil, whatever you want to call him, he has people, Jesus sneaks in. He took the thief in the night literal. The thief in the night was a figurative speech saying, in other words, if you knew what time I was coming, you would be ready. But it's repetitive. You see him coming. The earth fears and mourns. Nobody, except maybe the insane, will be jumping up and down, hooping and hollering because it's going to be a frightful sight. Just like a lot of people believe angels are these little fluttery things with wings that just glow in the dark like touched by an angel. If we saw an angel, what's the first thing angels always say to people? Fear not. These are frightful beings. These are not little fat cherubs. But then again, equally so are the people who say, I've been saved and baptized My sins have been paid for, even before I commit them. That is, tell you what that is, that's Luciferic doctrine. Gnosticism, Luciferic Gnosticism. Do what thou wilt shall be a whole other law. That's the only rule they got. That's Satanism, actually. But you get the point. So, you know, they say, well, God knows everything. And he does. And he knew you was going to do this sin. And I don't believe that either. Because we have free will. And so you say, well, how can free will and God know everything work together? But it can. God made, imagine a world where every day you go through 1,000 crossroads. You can turn left, you can turn right, you can go straight. You can't sit where you're at. If you do, you'll get knocked out of the way by the next person coming through the crossroads. God designed everything. Everything. So whether you turn left, he knows where that goes. You turn right, he knows where that goes. You go straight, he knows where that goes. And he also knows what happens if you sit there. Eventually you get knocked out of the way enough, you're going to have to move some way. God already knows this, but he gives you the choice which way you're turning. Which avenue do you want to turn? So no, when you go out and sin just because you got saved and baptized, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, wouldn't be the first time, that does not abstain you from all whatever you do. We know there's two sins that there are no forgiveness for. Grace don't even touch those according to Jesus. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going straight to hell, I don't think. I haven't read that far. If it is, I haven't understood it as that. But it does let you know there's two out there. And you're not locked in with God. That is the devil who makes contracts, not God. You know, the devil makes the contract you can't get out of. God makes an offer. You accept that offer, but you're also able to walk off at any given point in time. It's called the falling away. You might read that in Revelations. So I don't have my Bible with me where I can snip quotes like I do when I write. But you can find any of this stuff in there. Don't listen to me, don't listen to nobody. It's fine to listen, but then go research. You know, it may be that something sounds crazy, and it's true. And it may be something that sounds true, but it's not. And it could be that the person got it wrong. And these people that are predicting, what was it I seen on that Ephesians? I think that was the final straw that broke the camel's back. In Ephesians, they you know, this one predicted, God talked to that one, this prophetic word, this prophetic word. Here's a prophet, there's a prophet. You know, it's kind of like, wouldn't you like to be a prophet too? You know, a prophet will be 100% correct 100% of the time, because God is 100% correct 100% of the time. Now, demons, totally different story. They'll be right sometimes they won't. So, you know, use common sense, folks, because this has gone way, way out there. I believe we're in the last days. Do I know when the last days is? No. This crap could drag on for generations. I don't think it will. You know, it's got to get a lot worse, but it seems to be doing that pretty quick. And we have a good falling away right now, and oddly enough, some of it is the cults. But a lot of it is to Christians who have formed Christian cults. There are Christian cults. There's a few places I can point you. Trey Smith does some good, not Will Smith's son, but Trey Smith, he does great videos. Gonz, Face Like the Sun, does good videos. Chris White does good videos. The Vigilant Christian does good videos. There's several places that you can actually get good information. And they're going to tell you the same thing. Research. Go back. You're not going to hurt somebody's honest feelings because you want to make sure they know what they're talking about or they understood what they said. But don't fall into this. You know, I'm a black and white person. Everything's black or white. There is no gray. But there is a happy medium. I mean, it's not. You don't have a loving God with a hammer. That's Thor. With a hammer waiting to beat the crap out of everybody there and send all of his creation away. But at the same time, you don't have this candy bug God that's sitting up there just saying, oh well, just do whatever. I've got it covered. I can turn my head. He's slow to anger. But you anger him, and it ain't a good thing. So find the happy medium. You know, don't glory in yourself. Don't say I'm really, really good. I deserve to go to heaven. You know, if you're saved and baptized, that's a good thing. But it's not a get out of hell free card. And if somebody mentions hell, that doesn't mean that they're strictly by the rules and books, because there is a hell, there is a heaven. It's, you know, it's not rocket science, folks. You got people going to the left, people going to the right, when God is right in the middle. Both of them are driving away. So don't miss the boat. It just kind of trips me out. I mean, like I say, I'll probably write something about this. I think I have started it at one point. I'll write something a little bit better in detail. I'll give you scriptures that I base my beliefs on. Sometimes I change my beliefs. Why? Because I run into other scriptures. But not for my sake, not for God's sake. Not for your children's sake, not for anybody's sake but your own. Only you. Do yourself justice, do yourself a favor. For your own sake, get right with God. Quit listening to morons and false prophets. Research. If you can sit and watch these stupid TV shows that increase your stupidity, you can read the Bible for 15 minutes. You can sit down and watch one of the videos from one of these people. Trey's got a lot of Gonz at Face Like the Sun's got a lot of short videos right now. If you can invest a bunch of time to watch a bunch of bull, you can invest a few minutes to save yourself. Nobody can save you but you. God saves, but He waits on you. Period. He doesn't wait for me to tell you to come. He doesn't wait for you to wait for me to tell you to come. And quit listening to these idiots. I heard a woman the other day. We exchanged emails back and forth, and she's telling me what a good Christian she is. And then she comes out with reincarnation. Wrong religion. Here's one other final point. Just because somebody says the word God doesn't mean it's the same God is the Christian God. Not whatsoever. You know, it's one of these days I want to make a video on just craziness, like who blesses, the one who curses you, God's going to curse them and you bless them. And they attribute that to Jews. There was no such thing as a Jew when that was said. It was said to Abram, I believe. But anyway, there wasn't the nation of Israel. You know, there's so much crap been twisted. You got so many people pulling you away. The only person that knows the Bible as good as God is the devil. Because he was around when it was being written. And he studies it so that he can defeat you or me. And that's about it. Bye-bye.